Okay. One thing I've been always wanting to do when I make videos is to be consistently doing them, knowing that there'll be a time I will not be able to. I know that my life is not changing, it's not going to get any better, and because I stay within the realm of reality, understanding that I'm a target individual, I'm a guinea pig, and I'm a guinea pig for Department of Defense technology to be utilized. And then there is this psyop tactics of trying to creating this false reality that I'm supposed to be subscriptive to, which is not going to happen. Because we are validated in ways that you can't even comprehend. And the job of these people contracted by the government to kind of disorient you, confuse you, and try to make you believe this false reality. At this point, there's too much validation that they have to turn into. They truly have to become children. It's funny. I was talking to somebody and I call it now witchcraft because, they love to create this fantasy. They want to create a mystique of what they really are instead of the reality of what this program is about. With me, there's been this disturbing psyop trying to present themselves. We are this bunch of femme fatale, rogue women who are just, fierce. And when in reality, they're just like any other perps contracted by the government to implement these disturbing things that they do this to women and children. And the reality has been just so obvious that every time they try to prove this fantasy, reality just comes in and just shows. Now, with that being said, it's not changing what's happening to me. It's just you look at them as they being these retards. The torture of women, the pedophilia type of tormenting they be, is just there. That's what they've been doing. Let me just introduce myself properly. I'm what you call a target individual, a TI. TI, like I said, is what we've been calling ourselves because we're targeted in the sense that we are human subjects and governmental entities are utilizing very sophisticated technology onto us like we're guinea pigs. Some of the technology consists of V2K, which is voice to skull, and synthetic telepathy, but also directed energy and others that can manipulate your body and your organs in ways that are just so disturbing. But the most destructive technology is not only what they do to the organs in the body. For example, also then I have diarrhea, then I'm feeling weak, and then I'm constipated, then I have other, like, just my organs, my gastric organs are definitely being destroyed. But I haven't gotten surgery, as in I haven't gone to a doctor. I don't see anything, like nobody came and cut me up and did this. It's just happening to me, and it's done internally, but there's no cuts. This technology appears that is able to create some precise internal damage without you having to go through surgery. So this technology is this sophisticated. They can do things to your body. My bones are destroyed, teeth decaying, organs just not functioning the way they should. My heartbeat can be manipulated in different ways. And they do these nasty things to us. But the psychological torment is what is crazy. We are hooked to some kind of device that can then manipulate our thoughts. Our thoughts are manipulated in the most disturbing pedophiliac ways. And it's just disgusting. And you have these perps who are contracted to then try to get you to identify with these nasty things. Right? They try to make you believe that you should feel guilty knowing that they are doing this thing to you. It's gaslighting on another level, right? It's like me implanting cocaine in your pockets. And they're like, oh my God. And then me seeing you literally implanting it in your pocket. And then look at you, oh my God, they're going to destroy you. They're going to kill you. They're going to... Whatever is going to happen to you, you still know that you just implanted. I saw you put this in my pocket. It's not going to stop the fact that you literally put this thing in my pocket. But it's like, oh, you're going to be castrated. You're going to do this. Like, whatever's going to happen to me, it didn't stop the fact that I know that you just put this in here. And you have this perp who just like, no, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna do this and that. It's just like that, non-stop. But with disturbing reactions, pedophilia-centric, they have been said by others. And so the way they respond is like, oh, they're gonna cook you, they're gonna torture you, they're gonna do this and that. Yes, all that's gonna happen. But I just saw you do this to me, for me to react this way. It'll be horrible. Yes, it'll be horrible. But I know you did this thing to me to react this way. And they try to find ways to say, oh no, but you did this. I know that you did this to me, and you've done this to children and to women. We dared. I know that you do this to women, children, and men all around the world. I know that you do this, and I know that you've been doing this systematically. Oh, and I know that you would dare to not say certain things. I know that you work for the Department of Defense, which happen to have a bunch of. So it's you just. They try to really disorient you, to stop you from seeing things for what they are. But at this point, the validation are so grand. It's just almost scary. They are so just like, they are in their face like this, and they're like, no. It's scary. It's like, you're just so beyond. I mean, this validation on the earth, every once in a while you get validated, but the way that we are validated as target individual is surreal. It is surreal, like you couldn't even believe surreal. It's like magical surreal. It's biblical surrealness. So let me just start with the latest experience I had. Nothing new. It's going to sound just like something else you've heard me say. Dreams. 2 days ago, they made me have this disgusting sexual dream where I was forced to have sexual dreams with this person I've been with who's like 3 years younger than me. While in the midst of having this sexual dream, right, they give me arousals, and then I start hearing toddlers. While I'm having, they make me have this sexual dream. Then I just snap out of it, and then they start making me seeing little girls, little toddler babies. And at that point, you understand they've created some sexual arousals. And so you understand they were trying to do this thing, this combination, making me think about children and sex and combine this together. It's so nasty. So they really try to restructure your brain in these disgusting ways where sex and babies and kids want to combine these things. It's so foul. But that's what they do. They do these nasty things, and they're truly training your brain to think about kids in sexual ways. Now, we know that this technology is deriving from Department of Defense. Those are programmed and founded by this Department of Defense technology. To find out that the Department of Defense has had such a problem with pedophilia, and this is not me saying that, it's literally things that you see, information that's been open. That let me say that correctly to show how disturbing it is. So, according to and I want to read this in the right way. So, according to Child Pornography Watchdog, Internet Crimes Against Children, Child Online Protective Services, the Defense Department network consistently ranks in the top tier of internet service providers for trafficking child pornography. Let me repeat that. According to Child Pornography Watchdog, Internet Crime Against Children, Child Online Protective Services, the Defense Department network consistently ranks in the top tier of internet services providers for trafficking child pornography. Okay. This is not a target video just talking about what's happening to them, but I've already provided testimonials that these tactics are utilized onto others. But to find out the same entities running this program actually have been having consistent issues with pedophilia, being ranked as top tier child pornography traffickers, using Department Defense network, internet network, to share this child pornography within other peers. Now, as I'm saying that, via voice to score, perps are doing whatever they need to do to counter this reality. Their job is to alter reality in a sense that escape from the reality of what they're part of and create a fantasy, a distorted reality to cope with what they're actually part of. But what they're part of is so foul that they can never escape it. You know, in my last video, I said this thing. When we go through struggles and horrible things, it is sometimes beneficial to create an alter reality to box out what's happening to you in order to continue and to move on, to get to the point where you want to. Because if you looked at all the horrible things that can happen around you, you would not be able to focus and flourish. These people do this the other way around, because they themselves put themselves in this program that is extremely disturbing. In every ways I can testimonials of the torture of kids, sexually torturing women, causing mass shooting is just so disgusting. And then on top of that, you add the cherry that the Department of Defense have had consistent problem with pedophilia for years. So what they need to do, what they're doing a way to just deal and enjoy, to enjoy and feel guilty free and feel special, not even feel special, to try to block out what they're part of. They chose to be involved. Nobody forced them to be. They chose to be in this. So they're creating a bubble where they're creating a distorted reality. But this way doesn't work. This way is when things come back to you. It's like you wanted to block, you wanted to involve yourself in this nastiness, and you thought that you could block out reality. No, that's not how it works. That's when the reality hits you in ways that you don't fucking understand. For example, me, when somebody talks to me, that I know they're involved, I know these things. They try to gaslight you into it's like trash. You see how humiliated, you see how the humiliation? You work for pedophiles. Oh, sorry. You work for entities that have had consistent issues with pedophilia and still ranked top tier in regard of child pornography trafficking. And you know what they were trying to do? Oh, we're going to dare to implant child porn. That's the things that you guys been doing consistently for years. I know that you have tons of child porn available because this network, these entities have had issue with child pornography. So yes, this is what trash like you would do. Now, in regard to the program itself, dream modulations have been tactics they've used to break people down, and pedophilia-centric dream manipulation, making you have that's very pedophilia-centric. With me, what they do is use dreams as ways to kind of break you down, like mold you, create these disgusting ways of thinking about children in sexual ways. It is disgusting. They are literally breaking you down, depowering you, and repowering you using these tactics that can just reshape your thoughts and train you to think about kids, literally brainwash you, like train your brain to always equate sex and children together. Stimulations every time there's kids, especially for me, little girls, that's what they do. Stimulation, non-stop. Non-stop. Today they did another dream, but a little bit more settled. They can create and modulate dreams that are really like drive you in with like storylines that are like interesting. You know, you can see that we're very much guinea pigs, because in the future, in the mainstream future, I can imagine there'll be a time where people could and I know that I heard about that, where people could create dreams that they want to experience for the night. This is things that people have been talking about in the mainstream before, saying that they're prepping to create these things. But uh, we are not in the mainstream. We are just guinea pigs for Department of Defense Technology. And the things that we're experiencing is things that will not be experienced in the mainstream for a long time, right? They're using us, target individual, as just the guinea pigs. And so the dreams that they force us to experience are just, sometimes it's just disturbing, sometimes it's just like, they make you like have some weird, very like engaging dreams. But the reason why they do that is because at some point, for me, what they do is like they have me have this engaged dream where it's just some random stuff, but like just kind of try to engage you in that, and then change something. And I remember when I was with some roommates, I could hear them change the script to something that change script, because in the midst of me being in that dream, they then start implanting something that's pedophilia centric, as always. So, for example, I had a dream that they manipulate, these modulate dreams. I know it's very vivid, it's very like, it's like, wow, they're like doing their thing, but it's very engaging. They make me think of like me and some high school sweetheart, not even high school, somebody I had a crush on in high school. We were both in high school. Her locker was right next to me. For some reason, they had me have that dream with her, and I had a crush on her for some, like, at some points. But we were traveling, and it becomes like very engaging. And then I don't know, for some reason we're supposed to go sleep, but this high school sweetheart turned into a kid, like a baby. And it became like when we were sleeping, right? It was like kind of we're cuddling, but she was behind me, but she became a baby. But now it did not turn pedophilia centric immediately, because it felt like it was just like a innocent, like endearing, like how like a father and his daughter would sleep, right? Like just like a cuddle, like with your baby. It felt like that first. Then he went away. This kid slash other went away, and then they tried to the baby come back as a kid again, and this kid comes and try to cuddle, but this time I'm the big spoon, and the baby comes, and she wants to cuddle. And the feeling they make me have is like almost cuddling like your baby, your child. But they start giving me arousals. And so it becomes so uncomfortable. I was like, what's going on there? So I changed position. But it was just weird. And then they tell me, this baby tells me, oh, by the way, the department, some kind of like, the DEA is here. So what? I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go tell that to somebody. They're gonna, some weird things. And I go in the bathroom, and this woman comes, hey. And then I wake up, I'm not even scared. They make me have like a heartbeat, like my heart pounding. My point is, they created these modulated dreams to create some kind of pedophilia centric, and they try to be settled. And they can make you have these different feelings, where on one point they can minimize this disgusting pedophilia sensation they can make you have, and make you have like a feeling of like endearment. Feel like it's like your baby, your child, instead of the sensation they can make you have. But at the same time, they play with your arousals to combine these things, and then they're like, oh, we caught you. Like, this is how many dream modulation videos I've made, I don't know. Like, just 3 days ago, even 2 days ago, was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. This different sexual disturbing dream where it was very aggressive. This is a little bit more subtle. And then they wake me up from this dream, wanting me to feel nervous. I'm like, you know how many times you guys have done these things? I know what you guys do. You play with my libido, even within the dreams, and then you try to make me feel guilty as if I'm going to be like, how many sexual dreams that then turn into like some children involved in? Some babies try to turn things into disgusting pedophilia centric. This is not the first time. A lot of just, and they try to confuse you within the dreams. And then want you to be like, oh, we caught you, see? That's proof. It's like, what? You just manipulate me through my sleep. Changing from some high school friend, high school girlfriend, not even girlfriends, crush I had, to like a baby that came out of nowhere. Where did this baby come from? They confuse my brain as in like it's a baby, but it's not. And then start playing with my arousals. It's just like, wow. And then you hear this trash, these perps, whose job to make you accept these things, like, oh, now we proved that, you see, our baby. This trash are literally are training my brain to think about kids in sexual ways. Like I said, it's like they implant like things into you and you see it happening and they're like, oh my gosh, oh, caught you. Fucking trash. It is that nasty. But to find out that those trash work for entities with actual pedophilia problem, while these people are just modulating dreams in ways to manipulate you, to train your brain to think about kids in sexual ways, and want you to be scared. When you've been saying the same thing for 4 years. Delusional shit, but this delusionality, I'm not going to let them escape. This distorted reality they try to build, nope. Here's reality. According to child pornography watchdog, Internet Crime Against Children, Child Online Protective Services, the Defense Department network consistently ranks in the top tier of internet service providers for trafficking child pornography. Let me repeat that because there was a little bit of a struggle reading this. According to Child Pornography Watchdog, Internet Crime Against Children, Child Online Protective Services, the Defense Department network consistently ranks in the top tier of internet service providers for trafficking child pornography. And you have this trash who's been empowered by the same entities with pedophilia issues that are working day in and day out to modulate dreams and manipulate your brain to continuously see children and have children in your brain in these disgusting ways. Nasty low-life pedophiles. But what they do is now unique to me. They have been doing the same tactics and it's been ongoing for years. When you hear things like that, and
it is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophiles. Like, this disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through.
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems into human will. Which is, almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
So, this doesn't end there. When it comes to dreams and modulating dreams,
type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams. With the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams and videos in my pornographic images and videos, including highly disturbing pedophilia type of images and videos when I close my eyes.
they've been doing these nasty things, and 2 days another day, Saturday was another day of these nasty things, and to see people who actually, some of them have children, would involve themselves in a program where they are trying to restructure the brain to think about kids in these disgusting ways. This trash deserve beyond death. I pray that nothing happens to their children, but this nastiness is just people who need something else. No one need to know that the entity is contracting this low life. Empower them. Have been having issues with pedophilia for years, consistently. These tactics of pedophilia type of tormenting have been done to others. And to try to restructure a man or a woman in this disgusting way, I will never let them live the fantasy. And then you know what they say? No, you were when you were a kid. What kind of self-respect? Like, you're a piece of shit. You know that. But I'm glad that these people know themselves now. I'm not going to let them distort themselves. They live in their distorted reality. Bunch of bottom-feeder pedophiles. When I call them that, it's going to resonate even more. Whatever ways they try to create things, you can see the consistent trying, the consistent effort of rewiring the brain in ways to look at children in these disgusting ways. They are literally training, repatterning your brain into ways to think about kids in these nasty ways. It's so disturbing. And 2 seconds ago, just to wrap this up, they need to turn on reality. They have to turn off reality. They have to create an environment, a bubble of fantasies and fraudulency that I refuse to let them escape to. Target and Vigil, it is their job to create this distorted reality, this alternate reality. It is what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to create an alternate reality to the point where when they like, what scares me is they're going to make the mistake. They're going to try to turn on this alternate reality in front of me, and things are not going to work out the way they want. They're going to think that they've acted enough for me to be distorted in this reality they've put together, when I can hear the testimonials like what you just heard, and think that I'm going to let this trash escape with the level of validation. I mean, you even are ranked in the top tier child porn trafficker using your Department of Defense internet providers. Like, the validation are so extreme that when they want to act, and these people have no shame, man. They think that in their mind, if they act a certain way, it's like, you're gonna die and run away. I'm like, you just forgot that. You really think I forgot what you guys do to women and children, right? You forget that I know that you do the perfect type of torture, that you are literally restructuring people's brain in this disgust. Death for you is not what you deserve. You forgot the top tier. Oh, you forgot the mass shooting. Oh, my friend. Please do this shit. I will never let you live your fantasy. You forget that I know that the testimonies of what you've done to babies? Are you talking about me as a kid when I know what you do to children? Motherfucker. You lucky I'm not an aggressive human being. Shit like you deserve beyond death. But I will not not dirty my hands. What you deserve needs to come to you a way that has nothing to do with me. Meaning that I don't want to get my hands dirty. I don't want to interrupt what's going to happen to you. Because it's going to happen to you one way or another, you piece of shit. Why do you think you use childlike individuals? I'm not going to let... For me, it's just another level. It's just the anger of knowing that they even torture babies. Oh, my God. And they think this childlike shit is going to make me forget this? Try it. Try it. There's a reason why they use this childlike people. They need to distort reality. But with me, not only I know the pedophilia issue they have, I know how disgusting they are to children. I know how disgusting they are to men, to women. I understand that there's a bunch of pedophiles. I mean, let me repeat this. Let me read this again. According to child pornography watchdog, internet crimes against children, child online protective services, the Defense Department's network consistently ranks in the top tier of internet services provider for trafficking child pornography. Okay. Not only that, but the way they manipulate the brain, as you heard, have been doing this consistently to train brain in these disgusting ways. And so they send childlike people who think that this is the way they've acted. I don't understand what it is. There was a mass shooting that killed 25. Sorry, on October 25, there was a mass shooting that happened that killed 18 people. One of the top 10. It would take very little. This man killed after 1 year of just like disturbing things happening to him. When I see this trash, you know how much self-control I have to have? This nasty bottom feeder who work for pedophiles, who try to make you accept these pedophilia things, if I did something to them, it would be fully acceptable. Can you imagine make you have sexual dream about children and then be like, girls? 2 seconds ago, I saw somebody on on Tinder. I was on Tinder, and I see a coworker of mine. This trash. I remember her showing off her babies. She had like very young baby toddlers, little baby girls. They did those nasty pedophilia things they do to me. Which, you know what they say? What you're experiencing now is something that you experienced when you were a kid. We are making you think the way you were a child. Now, you understand these people have problem pedophiles in these agencies. And they tell me what they're doing is they are rewiring my brain, matching it to me when I was a kid. They are making me think the way I was thinking when I was a child. Do you understand the level of stupidity they have to make themselves be? And to them, it should be like, I should be like conscious, like subscriptive to this. Oh, you're making me like a kid? Trash us. These people with this issue, according to child pornography watchdog, internet crimes against children, child online protective services, the Defense Department network consistently ranks in the top tier of internet services providers for trafficking child pornography. And they're like, no, we mapped it to you as a kid. Working for entities like that. Those entities are the one running this program. Trash. And so I see this woman, and I'm like, unfortunately, because what you've gone, if you go through my videos, you see blurred pictures of people with their children. Some of them are co-workers that were showing their children for the sole purpose so they can do this pedophilia type of torture and be like, no, we mapped it. It's you when you were a kid. When you hear that they manipulate people to think about children in a sexual way, and even the dreams are implanted in you, so you can see that they try to condition your brain to think like that. And then you have retards, which I call them retards. They're not, but they're children who are supposed to get you to make you accept these things. Like, now we mapped it. They think that if they act accordingly, I will let them live their fantasy. Oh my gosh. In front of them, I'll play this. Looking at them. Looking at us like a bunch of pedos. So you've seen these videos of me showing parents of my coworkers with their children try to use their babies, especially little girls, to do these nasty pedophilia things, which they said they mapped it to me when I was a kid. These people. According to child pornography watchdog Internet Crimes Against Children, Child Online Protective Services, the Defense Department network consistently ranks in the top tier of internet service provider for trafficking child pornography. They've been doing this pedophilia type of tormenting consistently too, to other target individuals. These people are living in a pedophilia-centric realm of reality. That's their world. That's where they're flourishing. I was like, I'd rather rot in hell than having to not even having, flourish in a place where pedophilia is such a nasty, ongoing thing. Consistently being ranked top tier. And then try to sound certain ways, you're nothing. It's like, well, I'm a nothing. I'd rather be this nothing. Don't make me say the name that you can't say to show how much of a something you are. In every way, they've been humiliated by reality. So when I see this person that is a coworker of mine, and I remember her babies, they did some disgusting things. The little babies, like she's like 3, 4, 5 years old babies. They tried to, they did these nasty things. And I was like, I hope that she has a picture of her children there with her, because what I'm going to do, I take a screenshot of this picture of her family, her and her babies, and immediately make videos about it. Go through my videos, you'll see a lot of blur stuff of what example of what they've done to me, or who is involved themselves, even sharing, not even sharing, showing their babies on camera. Well, we're on like some kind of work calls, coming out of nowhere to do these nasty pedophilia things, to try to give me, even me speaking about it, they give me sensation stimulations. But it was just a picture of her face. I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, oh, you see, you wanted to see the babies. They're like, no, I wanted to show, I want to put it out on YouTube, like I put on, just like I've made these videos about my coworkers. Show, these are the coworkers and people that are involved in these things. They have babies and they do these things, involved in disgusting pedophilia things. Working for entities with pedophilia are majorly a problem. Do you understand? They distort reality in ways that's just... I would starve to death. I would be crawling. You know the horrible things I'm expecting? But I'm telling you, I will not want to trade places with this lowlife. They are so trapped. They framed me, but they're trapped. What like, how humiliating is life at this point? So it's like you guys don't have pedophilia issues, huh? According to this child pornography watchdog is just like, oh, well, they're lying. They're not this is not, no. The child pornography watchdog, internet, no, they made a mistake. No, they just, the Defense Department network consistently ranks in top tier of internet service provider for trafficking child pornography. Nah, there's nothing going on there. Nope. Not a pedophilia-centric issue over there. Not for your girls. You're protecting children for sure. Bunch of trash. But it's okay. But one thing I've noticed is everything I've prayed for has been shown to be true, to be done. I've said, listen, God, don't let me fall into this subscriptive or identify with these nasty things. They are nasty bottom fears. Thank you, God, for this. Thank you. I couldn't live my life like them. I'm not even asking to get out of this thing alive. I don't care. Death comes to all of us one way or another. So if this is where I'm going to die, I'm okay with that because you gave me dignity. This trash, even children can be involved because it doesn't take much. Matter of fact, anybody who's an adult conscious person will have to minimize themselves, turn into something else. Any adult that has a sense of rationality and ability to see things clearly have to dumb themselves down and become damn near retarded. I heard a woman saying that's witchcraft. To be able to alter reality. No. It's called childlike. A child can create a fantasy and escape from reality. A child can create something that's so falsified instead of reality of what's going on. That's the child-minded. They have to make themselves children to do these things, to cope with these things. You know, my head, you know what they're doing? To compare to, To counter that, they talk about me as a kid, a child who do something stupid, impulsive as a kid, which they have to exaggerate. Why are they doing this to kids?
I am currently a speech-language pathologist working in private practice with young children. I had a 7-year-old client who has autism, and she was the most significantly affected of all of my clients. I eventually had to tell this client to go to another clinic, and they used her to threaten the most torture. Then I began to experience very extreme suffocation all day, every day. Right after I saw this child being suffocated, then I began to experience very extreme suffocation all. I observed this at least. Both of these girls suddenly grabbing their genitals in pain and verbalizing, ow. I observed this at.
You heard sexual torture. Both of these girls, one is 4, one is 5. They both have Down syndrome. The kid the child that they were suffocating was a 7-year-old autistic child. There's a 3-year-old, the sexual torture. This is the things they do to kids. They're girls. They are doing horrible things to babies, infants. And they want me to let them live that fantasy? This, what they deserve is not on this earth. You want to hear what a mother and her young child goes through?
Miss Catherine Nestor.
My name is Catherine Nestor, and I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MKUltra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And I won't go into the details of that because I have 4.
You understand? This is what they do to children, and you hear this trash that yell, scream. I'd rather scream in hell than listen than be involved in a program where they do these things to kids. You fucking lowlifes. You know what they try to bring up? They're like, no, but what you did as a kid damaged. What you do? This person doesn't even know me. What you guys do to children damage them, not only psychologically but physically. And then you hear this shit talking, yes, yes. Fucking cowards. Torturing babies. You only hear 3-week-olds? They told me they're gonna do these things to me.
After a few days of torture, we were told by a couple doctors to take her home and love her and spend the rest of the time we have with her. They told us she would ultimately die from this syndrome. Thank God that Lerner syndrome was not what affected our daughter. Doctors are still dumbfounded by her rash and symptoms. Sadly, we know that her symptoms were effects from the torture this poor innocent 3-week-old baby endured.
These piece of shits. What they deserve is not on this earth. The way they try to create and counter reality, and the way they try to escape from what they're involved in, I'm not gonna let them do that. Because either way, if I said it or not, it was gonna come back to them. You can't be involved in a program that does these horrible things to babies. Then do these things to people, men and women, to restructure the way they think, to even their dream being manipulated so they can create some kind of pedophilia-centric ways of reacting to children. Then finding out the entities contracting this low life, I feel pedophiles. And then you know how they try to feel better? It's like, no, but what you did as a kid, oh my goodness. What you guys do to children. Let me show you. this. Let me show. They're doing some nasty things. This is an 8th grader. Imagine I told you that I'm making you be this kid, and you're in your 30s. And imagine you as a kid that age do some impulsive, stupid thing as a kid. That just happened once because a kid can do something like that, which you have to exaggerate. You have to make up extra things to try to make it sound like it worse than what it actually happened. While you hear what they do to babies. Matter of fact, as I was putting this, because I made a video about how they try to make me think, tell me that what I'm experiencing is them mapping me to be the age of this kid. And this is why I'm responding to this picture this way. They were stimulating me to this picture of this baby. But I've been validated. Not only they do the perfect type of torture, but consistently ranked top tier in trafficking child pornography. So I'm talking video. Find yourself dignified.